The channel has been on extended break in 2025, but we are now back with lots of content around platinum casting, platinum alloys, and platinum jewelry finishing. As a platform, PlatinumABC, the mission has never changed. It's always been about advocating the value of platinum innovations. We are going to take a slight shift in the coming year in focusing a little bit more on how-tos and know-hows to help many more manufacturers that are now coming in to work with platinum for the first time to understand a little bit more about how to work with it. But even for those who have been working with platinum for a while and it's looking for more information on production optimization, I'll also be starting a new series of content that I hope you will find useful. While we were scripting and shooting casting videos last week, we had to do a couple of checks on numbers, mostly around temperatures during the casting process. So we opened up our computer and realized we archived many years of downloadable publications. These are written by specialists and experts in the field, and there's just many papers from the past. One paper jumped out in particular, and we found it to be immensely helpful. And that was a paper published in the first Jewelry Materials Congress London on July 2019 by Dr. Ulrich Klotz and his team at FEM. The title of the paper is The Investment Casting of Platinum Group Metals, Casting Challenges, Process Parameters, and Resulting Material Properties. A very long title indeed, and the paper covers exactly just that. So we're able to find all the references and numbers we're looking for around flask temperature and casting melting temperature for the platinum ruthenium alloy. And these are things I get asked a lot on a regular basis. That just means there is a vast amount of information out there in the public domain that we're not aware of. So with Dr. Ulrich's permission, I will now extract really useful information from this paper and share that knowledge here on PlatinumABC. There are a couple of key things that this paper covers that is worth sharing. Title suggests casting challenges, process parameters, and material properties. A bit broad, yeah? And each of these topics, honestly, deserve its own episode, if not mini-series, to get into all the details. And if you flip to the back and read the summary and conclusions, the paper material used in casting, mainly referring to crucible and investment powder, tree design, especially for centrifugal casting, form filling between different alloys, and also between centrifugal and till casting, temperature to superheat your alloy or not to superheat, ultimately related to the causes behind casting porosity. And finally, the paper also touches a little bit on HIP, a hot isostatic press, which previously we've covered in PlatinumABC. Now, those are the key topics. Again, each of these deserve a deep dive in following videos. So for this first video of the series, I would like to touch on what prompted us to this paper in the first place, and that was looking at different temperature in the casting process. We absolutely agree with the references from Dr. Klotz, 850 Celsius, that's 1560 in Fahrenheit, for the flask temperature. Great. I only wish it was that simple when it comes to the melting pour temperature of the platinum stuff. Dr. Klotz did give us a reference and a range for platinum ruthenium, and it was between 1850 and 1980 Celsius. There are diagrams showing results from the two different temperature. Figure 6 is a casting simulation on the effect of melt temperature on porosity in platinum ruthenium. Different melt temperature can yield different porosity results. On the other hand, figure 7 shows effect of melting temperature on investment reaction. So what does this mean? With figure 6, it suggests that higher temperature at 1980 Celsius, that's 3600 Fahrenheit, can reduce porosity, because when it's casting at a lower temperature, the entire piece cools and the heat is not as well maintained within the casting. Hence, it will increase the chance of shrinkage porosity, especially near the sprues. But with figure 7, it suggests that higher temperature could result in higher reactivity with investment that could result in rough surfaces. So the question is then, do we cast platinum ruthenium at 1850 Celsius or do we cast it at 1980 Celsius? Which is it? What do we do? So before we share our recommendation, I would like to put the question out there to you guys. Do you cast at 1950 or do you cast in 1980? How much superheat do you put into the system when you cast your platinum rutheniums? Do you often run into service quality issues, or do you run more into porosity issues? What's keeping you up at night when it comes to your casting? So let us know in the comments below. We'll hope to address these issues in videos to come. See you next time.